What's up, YouTube? Thanks for coming back today to see just what I do. Now today, we're not cooking today or in the garden or anything. We're over here at my car. Now this was my granddad's car, but I bought it from him, and it's now my car. My granddad can't drive it anymore because he's in a memory care home. So this car means a lot to me. The memory care home he's in is really great. I know most people are against putting their family in a home, but we just couldn't take care of him the way he needed, and it was just time for him to go. Anyways, the place is called Applewood Our House. It's a really great place. They take really good care of him. So a quick shout out to them. If you're looking for a memory care home, people that help with Alzheimer's or dementia, a great place is called Applewood Our House. They've got more than one house. Alright, back to the task at hand. We're down the wrong rabbit hole again. Today, I'm a kind of jackass of all trades. Today we are going to be changing the oil in my car. Now this is the car I take up on my vacations. So it was just time for it to have an oil change. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, it's almost the same on every vehicle, but I'll give you a quick rundown on how to do it. And that's my phone. I'll kind of show you step by step how to do it. So hopefully this goes well. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. Yes, I'll say the same thing at the end of the video. Hit that like button if you liked this video. And let's dippity do this. Okay, before we can get to the filter, on this model it has sort of a chest plate over the engine. So we're going to remove that first, and then I'll show you the filter. Okay, I've got that chest panel off now, and now you can see that right there is where my new filter will go. Now that's the two things you want to make sure you have before you ever start doing this project is a new filter and oil to refill it with. You want to make sure you have those on hand before you ever start this project. Now this is not a sponsored video at all, although that would be nice someday. Eventually I'll get there, but for now, this is just a regular video. And make sure that you don't wear your nice clothes, because you are going to get dirty. Yeah, so, and then, if you're wondering what kind of oil your vehicle takes, open the hood. Look for your oil cap. Now, to know that it's your oil cap, you'll see that symbol right there. And underneath it will say what oil your vehicle takes usually. And that's the number you want to get for your vehicle. If not, then go online and look it up. I'm sure you could Google it. Internet's good for everything anymore. So, the next step is to, well, as you can tell, it's got pretty low clearance. Oh, sorry, you should look at the ground. You've got pretty low clearance right there. I can't exactly fit. I can, but the last time I did it, I gave myself a concussion because I bounced my head off the ground a couple times, and I don't feel like doing that again this time. So, what we're going to do to prevent that this time is we are going to jack up that side of the car. So, I'm going to jack up the car and get ready to show you the next part of this project. Now, to locate where your oil pan is, the drain plug and everything is, you want to find where your lid is, and usually down below underneath the car and relatively the same area where your lid up top is where your oil pan will be. Usually. Now, you can just get a two-way pump, stick it all the way down into your crankcase, I suppose it's called. I think it's called that. and siphon it out through the top. That takes a bit of time. That's what I have to do with my aunt's truck. Jeep. It's a Jeep, not a truck. And because the bolt down below is completely stripped, so I have to go through the top to give her Jeep an oil change. Now you can do it that way. It is a little simpler. It takes a bit more time though. And, but you can do it that way. But for now, let's go underneath and I'll show you where the plug is. Okay, we are now under the car. That is the drain plug that we're going to have to remove. Now I do have my wrench. It is a number 17 metric wrench. That right there. There's not a lot of room under the car and it is starting to rain, of course. So I am going to, there it is, undo that plug right there, but make sure you have your oil pan, your oil catch-all, your oil reservoir thing ready, because it will come spewing out. Now you do not want to wear your good clothes when you're doing this, because you will get filthy. I said that once before, but it bears saying again. And do not have your phone in your pocket when you get down on the ground. You can crush the face. Whoa. Try it again. You can crush the face. Crush the face. There we go. Sorry about that. That was a weird moment. So, let me move the oil pan over, and we'll pop this plug, and show you the next step. So there we go. We got the bolt out of the bottom of the drain pan. And we're going to let that drain into the catch-all. And when that's done, I will show you the next step, which is pretty much we're done down below after we put the bolt back on. But for now, I'm going to go do some of my other chores, and I'll be back with you when that's done draining. While that oil drains, it'll only take a couple minutes. It won't take very long at all. Long enough for me to get a couple of chores done. Just wanted to ask y'all, how many of y'all hate squirrels? I just hate them. You see that up there? Let me zoom in a bit. See all that? There we go. All that up there? That is from the darn squirrels. They keep trying to make a nest in my tree. Now, yeah, cool, have babies and whatnot, but in my opinion, have them somewhere else. They keep destroying that tree. You see how some of the limbs are extremely bare? That's because they ripped off all the leaves. And you'll see in some other spots to where a bunch of the bark is chewed off. That's, again, the stupid squirrels. They're driving me nuts. That's one of the jobs that Axel has, is to chase away the stupid squirrels. Because they harass my flock and they kill my tree. So I take care of them when I can get to them. I use a pew pew. Yeah, I shoot them. Yeah, with a can't actually say it on YouTube, but you get the idea. Now, at one point, I did have a family of foxes living out front in one of my, out front. So when I would use and take care of a squirrel, I would leave it out front as an offering to where he stays out front and leaves my flock alone. I'll leave them alone. It was a understanding we had. I didn't exactly talk to him or anything, but you get the point. Now, a little peeker right there. Just a little update. My 5 that I hatched out, I did put them in here. They've been in here for a little over a week now. And, of course, they all want to be camera shy. Yeah, they've been in here for a week now. There was a little bit of a scuffle. But they're doing really good now. They're all getting along. They have their squabbles every once in a while, but we all do. Now they come out. Yeah, they're doing all good. They're all doing good. There we go. Yeah, one of them got scalped. Yeah, that one right there, the male right there, he got scalped. He had a bloody spot on his head, but nobody was killed. I did lose some. I lost my original male that was in here, and then I recently lost one of my original females that I had out here. She was sort of handicapped because the male got just a little bit too rough. And I've got a little helper down there as usual. Oliver. Yeah, my little helper. Daisy's in the house. She got too hot. But yeah, it wasn't a fight or anything. I think it was just natural causes because she was starting to have a bit of trouble. But everybody else is doing really good. There's 3 of them. I think I have 8 now. Yeah, I think I have 8. And the other flock is doing really good too. It's my green beans. Yes, I still have my big ducks separated. It's still mating season for them. As you can see on the back, I don't know how well you can see. On the back of his head is bald. It's a mating thing. But there's a big brat. And an Ellie. Yeah, that was Cash. He's one of my big dogs. Now, everybody else that I put in here is doing really good. Don't know how well you can see through the fence, but you get the point. They're doing well. So, that's just something I wanted to address on how much I dislike squirrels. Axel usually comes out and barks, drives the neighbors nuts, which I really don't care. And chases them away and makes sure they don't pester my flock. That's Axel's job. And that's Axel's buddy that helps enforce everything. But yeah, so let's get back to the original task and see how the car's doing. Now, as you can see, it has stopped draining. So that, well, it's dripping a little bit right there. But for the most part, it stopped draining. So let's go top side and do that step. Okay, now it's time to do the filter. Now, most filters look like this. Now, if you don't know what filter you use or need, just go into O'Reilly's or any auto parts. I go to O'Reilly's or Napa usually. And you go to the front desk, ask them, tell them make, model, and engine size, and they will find you the right oil filter for you. Now, most of the time they look like this. This is actually the oil filter to the truck, the Toyota truck. But in the car, it looks like this. Completely different. It's like the inside of the filter. But this will go right there. Now, it won't always be right on top, because in the truck it's down in the front on the side of the engine, about right here. So with that one, I need help getting out because my dad's got to punch it with a screwdriver and then give it a twist. Sometimes I could just do it by my hand, but sometimes it's super tight because it does heat up. But anyways, so this, all you do is unscrew. It won't always be this easy. It's just this easy on my car. And expect to make a mess, so make sure you have a rag handy. As you can see, that's the way it sits. And as I said, expect to make a mess. Now, back in the day when my granddad used to do this on all his vehicles, he could do an oil change in like a flash without getting a drop of oil on him. Now me, on the other hand, I'm already filthy. But I don't know how he could do it that way, but he can do it that way every time. So let me get a rag and put you back on the tripod, and we'll pull that out. As you can see, I somewhat left that tilted to one side to hopefully let some of the oil drain out. That is one reason why we haven't moved the pan down below. Because when you loosen it up here, it kind of releases some pressure, and some, not a lot, but a little more will drizzle out down below. So the next step is, hopefully without making a total mess, will be to, there we go, pull this out, if I can remember how. Okay, I figured it out. It wasn't that hard. I was just having a dumb moment. You just give it a good pull, and it comes right out. Again, be careful. You will make a mess. I know I just stuck that back in the same hole. I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way first. So, you'll want to pull out your new one. And then this is all the extra stuff it comes with. Now, you want to take that. It will make a mess. I know I've said that several times, but trust me, it'll make a mess. Put that in the old box and throw it away. So the next thing to do is to wipe off all this gunk right here. You want to wipe it all off really good. Make sure your seals are intact and whatnot. Now, on the other kind of filter, yeah, I just put it away. Give me a second, let me go grab that other kind and I'll show you. Now, as I was saying, on this this style of filter, you'll want to, before you install it back in your brand new one, you'll want to take and dip your finger in your new oil, not your old oil, and make sure you run it along your gasket right here to just lubricate it so it has a tight seal. It'll seal better and it won't be so hard to take off later, potentially. So, for now, put that one away because that one goes to the truck, not the car. I was just telling you. But for this style of filter, it is pretty straightforward. We are going to clean all this up, check our rubber gaskets to see if we need to replace any, because that's what this is for, and then I will come back and show you installing it. Okay, I don't think I need to change any of my gaskets out, because there's one that sits right there, and then there's another one that sits down here. I'm not going to change any of those out because they all look pretty good to me. So I've cleaned up the threads of the mess I made. I cleaned up the threads on the reservoir down here. Now the inside, don't worry about cleaning that up. Just clean up what you're spilled around the edge and your thread area. Now what is threads? The teethy part here on the inside that line up with those right there. Just clean up any spills, clean up your threads. Now the last thing to do is to put your filter on top of that. Now on the other style it will just screw back into place. If you have this style it just goes over that. If you have the other style it'll screw back into place in the exact spot you pulled it out of, just in reverse. So all you have to do with this is slide it over, snap it down if you heard that, and put it back in the reservoir, tighten it down, not super tight, but tight enough. You don't want this rattling off later. Especially when we go to the mountains, we don't need that rattling off and having an oil problem later on in the mountains. So, that is it for top side. Now the only thing left to do down below is to clean up the threads down below, clean up that oil plug, and put it back in, and we are just about done with this project. So I'll be right back. Let me go down below, clean the threads on the nut, and then clean the threads on where the nut goes, as I said before, that's pretty much it. Put the nut back in, tighten it down, and I'll show you the next step. So, as you can tell, how well you can tell, but you can tell, we're not dripping anymore. I've got the oil reservoir pan out, and we're ready to move on to the next step. Now, there is the old oil. As you can tell, it is rather on the dark side, so it was definitely time to do an oil change. Let me put you back on the tripod and we'll talk some more. Okay, now if you're not sure on anything about doing anything with your vehicle, little easy maintenance stuff like this, go to your local auto shop and get yourself a repair manual. They come in handy, really handy, especially when you need to take the whole front end apart, like I did on the truck. It shows exactly how to do that. And it tells you how to do certain things with your vehicle, like maintenance and repair and headlights and tire. It's helpful. So, moving on. Don't need to see that anymore. My car takes 520 weight. It does matter. You have to make sure you get the right weight. Oil. Now the truck takes 530, the car takes 520. There is a difference in weight. Anyways, I get these by the big box full. Now if you want to know how much goes back in your car, how much to put back in, look it up. Either go online or go get yourself one of these books, or when you go to get your filter, ask the guy. The guy will know. That's what they're there for. So mine takes 4 liters and a skosh. It takes 4.2 liters, so it's like 4 and a skosh. So I've got 4 bottles out. I also keep one of these in the car for when we're on long trips, like our vacation to the mountains, which you will see on Friday. Hopefully you'll watch those. We're going to go as long as the weather will let us. It'll be a while, because we even like to fish in the snow. We've done it last year. The year before. Anyways, so I'm going to pop the reservoir open, pour these in. I'll show you doing that. So let's go do that now. Now, before you go putting your oil back in, you need to make sure that you put the plug back in down below. Because if you didn't, and you pour it in here, it will drain all the way back down to the bottom. So, you know what? I forgot a funnel. Let me go grab a funnel and I'll show you next. Okay, I got a funnel now, so let's finish this project. So you open this up, just unscrew it. Put your funnel in right there. Open your oil. And slowly pour it in, because sometimes it'll burp and make a mess. So, as you can see, well, you can't see. Try again. Alright? As you can, hold on. Okay, now I got it. As you can see, the color of that oil compared to the oil I showed you in the pan, so that definitely means that I was due for an oil change. Now, if I can do an oil change in somewhat of a half an hour, then anybody can do an oil change. Okay, that's the first bottle. Let's pour the other 3 in. And we are almost done with an oil change. thing left to do is put the cap back on. And now we'll put this chest plate, engine plate, whatever you want to call it, back on. Now you just sort of do everything in reverse from when you started. So that's it. You just watched me do an oil change on my Hyundai Sonata. It's not that hard. It's pretty much the same thing on any vehicle. Now we got all the caps back on. We got the new oil filter in, the new oil in. Now there is a couple things that you want to do after you've driven it and gotten it hot for a while, and that is to go underneath and make sure that that drain plug is tight enough and it's not leaking. If it's leaking, you need to tighten it a little more. If it's not leaking, then it's just fine. And then also you'll want to find your dipstick, which mine is that yellow doohickey right here. And when it's hot, check it. Make sure you're at the right full level, because you want to make sure you're at the right full level, because if you are too full, it will start combining too much air and it will get frothy, and you'll have a lot of burn off in the exhaust, and it just won't run right. So you want to make sure you have the right amount of oil in it. Now, every once in a while you do want to come out and check your oil from your dipstick, and if it says low, add some, because that could really do damage to your engine when you're running low on oil. So that is that part. All finished with that and little helpful hints. Now you're wondering, what the heck do I do with all the leftover old oil? Now, if you have a milk jug, or if you bought one of the big jugs of oil, or any sort of jug that you have empty that you don't want anymore, pour your oil in it, take it up to AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any of those auto parts stores like that, take it in and they will dispose of it without a problem. You just got to make sure you put it in a milk jug or something. You can't exactly take it in like this. It's a little hard for them. You just, hand it to them. Sometimes they'll let you go back and pour it into the recycle bin yourself. Other times they just take it and do it for you. But anyways, that's pretty much all this project. The only thing left to do is to get you guys off the ground, is to lower, there we are, the jack back down and put my car back on the ground. So that's it. My car's back on the ground now. I just have to put away all my tools, clean up the empty bottles, and this project is completely done. Yeah. So that is an oil change on a Hyundai Sonata. That is just one more thing of just what I do. I do a lot of things. This channel will showcase a lot of it. You'll get a little bit of everything of just what I do. I can do a lot of things. I don't know why I know what I know most of the time. But anyways, that is an oil change. Not that hard. If I can do it, Anybody can do it. If you don't want to do it yourself, then just take it in and have someone else do it. But I find that it is a little cheaper to do it myself. But anyways, thanks for watching Just What I Do today. I hope you liked this video. I have many more videos on the way. They range from cooking, animals, cars. I do it all on this channel. That's why it's called Just What I Do. You get a glimpse of everything of just what I do. Again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. I post twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Fridays are mostly my vacation trips. Tuesdays are miscellaneous. You never know what you're going to get on Tuesdays. It could be a build, it could be food, or it could be just an update on my animals, or I might just show the puppies. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I said that already. I said it at the beginning too. Hit that like button. Please hit that like button if you like this video. If you don't like this video, I'm just happy you watched anyways. So, again, thanks for watching Just What I Do. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching one more time.